Facebook, Twitter, formerly known as X, and all of that good stuff. Welcome to Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense, y'all. And it is Monday. We back, man, for another round. So before we get started, I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. So somebody in the chat, go ahead and chime in. Let me know you can hear me before we get going, and then we'll get the show started real soon. I see a lot of people in the chat, though. Somebody said that's funny if they are come looking for you. Tell them you were in something, a meeting. All right, I'm seeing the chat over there, but I'm not seeing you guys. Let's see something here. Let's see. All chats are visible. Now I'm seeing y'all. Y'all saying y'all can hear me. Oh, yeah, man. That's what I like. I like when y'all can hear me. Oh, I'm seeing some of these and everything. Some okie dokies. Perfect. Now, if this is your first time joining the channel, please hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. Unfortunately, I have not figured out the Facebook dilemma. I've been trying my best, man. And people have sending me clips and videos that show me how to, flip it over and make it horizontal again. But for some reason, none of that's working. I don't know if it's just my devices or Facebook just trying to play some games, but I'm going to get back there. So y'all just hang tight. I just got to figure it out. It ain't like you can just call up Facebook like, man, what's going on in this funky joint? Y'all better get my stuff together. Don't make me come over there. You know how it is. All right, I see some people chiming in from the UK. That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah. So with that being said, this number right here, 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, I would do my best to keep you guys informed just in case something crazy happens. Now, I don't have to text y'all every day for y'all to know that I do my live show Monday through Friday from 7 till 8. So this way I don't have to bug you with text. You just know to be here on Monday through Friday, 7 to 8. But just in case anything is altered, I will be able to text you and let you know. Now, also, before we get started, I want to make sure that you guys, if you want to participate in this super chat, feel free. If you want to support my channel through my monthly little fundraising campaign, the link is right below this video to do that as well. All you gotta do is click on it, and whatever you want to do, you can do it. And I'd appreciate anything that you guys can do to support the channel. And then finally, like, share. All right, now let's get busy, y'all, because we got some juicy stuff to talk about tonight. Like a real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here, gorilla in here, gorillas in here, gorillas in here. You see me hit y'all with the wax on and wax off. Dang on it. Now, we're going to get to what my title was talking about in a second. But first, we got to go through some other things, starting off with our fearless leader, creepy, sleepy, sleazy, and he's sloppy. And you know his name is Joe. Creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe. Got to go. Oh, boy, Joe Biden, I tell you. Oh, the merchandise. Check that out. Y'all like that? Y'all like that watch? Yeah, man, I'm about to get one of those myself. That's right. I'm going to get high off my own supply. Be buying my own stuff. Yeah. Well, Kevin's Corner, making sense out of nonsense. Look at that shirt. The store is now open and available. Go ahead and check it out.
The oldest president in U.S. history also continues to face questions about his age, even here in Nantucket.
Went to Nantucket, and he's facing questions about his age. Let's see what the press does and ask him.
Mr. President, are you too old to be running for re-election?
Yes!
Why is Donald Trump beating you in the latest
poll? Oh! See, Joe tried to come back with a witty response, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're too stupid. Joe know he's too old. He probably don't even know how old he is. How old am I again? So let's hear that question. You're too stupid.
Why is Donald Trump beating you in the...
Now that's funny. Even Ron DeSantis got to laugh at that one. You see that? Oh man, I didn't realize that was a MO for Ron DeSantis, y'all. But he shouldn't be laughing because he's getting beat too. But watch the second one.
This is the most.
I think that's just a nervous laugh for Ron DeSantis, man. So yeah, Creepy Sleepy is getting beaten. Ron DeSantis is too, so he don't have no room to laugh, even though it's funny to see him laugh. So now, let's get into why. Why is it, y'all, that Joe Biden and is getting his butt beat, and all of these other countries seem to be jumping on board with this populist movement? They're jumping on board with the populist movement, man. So they either done been infected by Trumpism, or they just, because I get people from all over the globe, especially when I used to have the call in, people were reaching out to me like, man, y'all are so lucky y'all got a president over there that looks out for y'all, the people. Man, I wish we had us a Donald Trump over there. Well, it seems like there's a lot of folks overseas now, and even our next door neighbors up there in Canada where the man chicken is. I hope the man chicken get beat by that one dude up there. I had some clips of him a couple weeks ago. I forget his name, but the dude is amazing when it comes down to destroying the media, and he's common sense. And this seems to be catching on fire with all these other foreign Western countries. You got Ireland rising up right about now, getting mad, the Netherlands, all of this stuff is going on. And they're starting to make this connection, calling it, y'all taking playbooks from Donald Trump, and y'all have been affected by the MAGA movement and the right wing and all of that stuff. Whereas it's just common sense. So Roger Stone now has to come on and share a brilliant assessment, an analysis of what is going on, what they're doing to Trump, what they're trying to do to our country, and why they're trying to do it. Roger Stone, it's been a long time since I've had you on the show. Please go ahead. Let's see what you're talking about.
Graphic example of Alinskyism I've ever seen.
What the? How'd I get way down there? Oh, my fault. Yep. We'll get to Roger Stone in a minute, y'all. Yeah, that was a boo-boo.
President in U.S. history also continues to face
Roger
questions
Stone's
about
coming
his
on in a minute,
age,
so stay
even
tuned.
here in Nantucket.
Mr. President, are you too old to be running
At least
for
I get to see this
re-election?
again one more time. Wait a minute. You're
Why
too
is Donald
stupid.
Trump beating you in the latest poll?
He's brought the world
Here we go.
And
So now, so we're about to find out why it's such a threat to the fake news and these globalists, because they know Trump's popularity has just continued to grow in spite of all of their efforts to stop it. Starting with these two bozos right here.
the thing is, this is the most. I'm going to lose it. Literally, I'm going to
Please
lose
do.
it.
You already
they
lost
bring
it.
up
You
his
already lost
age.
it, Mika.
You bring up his age. He's 80 years old. He makes jokes about his age, and yet he's working on every level, foreign and domestically. And then are you making the argument? Is one making the argument that he's 80, therefore a voter is going to vote for Donald Trump?
Absolutely. Because they're missing the point, and they don't want to explain this to their audience. It's not about his age. It's his mental capacity. It's his mentity. That's what it is. As my one student, Quincy, who was a scholar in his own right, in the middle of that basketball game, they called that timeout, and Quincy said, now listen, we winning, but they're beating us mentity. And the rest of the players were like, what the heck? What are you talking about, mentity? Quincy looked them in the eyes and said, mentity. You don't know what mentity is, man? So what's happening is, it's Joe's mentity that's all messed up. It ain't his age. The man is just cognitively, messed up. And here Mika is trying to make an excuse for him, talking about she gonna lose it. Well, she's mentity messed up too.
Like, that's the choice?
By the way, Donald Trump
No.
is 77, and
Doesn't make
They're
any
trying. They're trying. You see them reaching for straws? They are reaching. I thought the Trump is 77. By the way, now they're trying to give us an alternative to Donald Trump by trying to smear Trump and put him in a category as Joe Biden is when it comes down to his cognitive delay, his mentity. So here they go and watch what Joe Beaker try to slide in.
even when he was in office, he had executive time where he just sat off the room in
It's a
the
false
Oval
choice.
Office.
You hear Mika chime in? It's a false choice. What does that even mean? What does that mean, a false choice? What? It's like a false signal or something. Oh, well, you know what? It was a false pregnancy. No, either something is real or it isn't. And it is an actual choice. Don't pretend like it's no choice to vote for Donald Trump. Okay, you have no other option. It's a false choice. You must vote for Creepy Sleepy at 81 years old, whose birthday cake looks like a Roman torch or something back in the dark ages. You could stick that cake on a stick and walk around in the middle of the night for hours. That's how many candles was on that dang on birthday cake. And here she is. It's a false choice. And then they're trying to say Trump spent hours and hours sitting inside watching the news and stuff. So what? The man outworked everybody. Woke up earlier than everybody. Went to bed later than everybody. Folks said, man, the dude outworks us all. He sleeps 3 hours a night. And here he is trying to die. And guess what? He was able to multitask. That's why he knew what the fake news was all about, because he would watch the news and run the country at the same time. So he's making my point. If Trump was that productive, and yet he had the time to watch TV instead of like creepy sleepy in Nantucket and on vacations and on the beach and all of that stuff and taking naps and running out of meetings and stuff to go poop if he already didn't poop on his way out the door. Instead of all of that, Trump was able to run the country and be that productive while still keeping up with the fake news. Let's continue.
And he would watch cable news around the clock
to see what's the fakest thing latest on the
clock on foreign
I would put the president's stamina, president's wisdom, ability to get this done on behalf of the American people against anyone.
You hear Black
anyone on any day of the week.
What? Well, we're going to have to take that to task. You hear Black Gate jump out there and have to prostitute herself again. All right, family, I'm going out to be a lady of the day instead of the lady of the night. Oh, when are you going to let that job go? I can't, because I'm the first Black, gay, immigrant. I done set myself up now, so I got to live up to it. So here she comes out every day to prostitute herself, and she's trying to tell us that man right there is able to go toe-to-toe with anybody, except stairs, except, I guess, sandbags, except sleep, except the truth, except anything productive. But in that teleprompter, teleprompter's like 100 and 0. It has knocked Joe out every single time. So somebody said no sound. You telling me you can't hear me? What? Let me check. Gary, can anybody else? Yeah, let's see. All right, Kevin from your neighborhood, Pittsburgh. All right, Lori. Pittsburgh. Yeah, man, I got to get up to Pittsburgh real soon. They got some salsa dancing up there I need to get to. Dang, it's been a while since I've been up there. So everybody else hears me fine. So Gary, if you can, go ahead and check and make sure that your stuff is connected. All right, so now let's go ahead and check Black Gay Drop's work.
I don't know anyone. I literally do not know one person. And I asked these three guys, does anyone in this room know one person that's 81 still working a full-time job? No. Obviously, such people exist. But I don't know any. They don't know any.
Me either.
Joe Biden is obviously not capable of doing the job. And by the way, it's not purely because of his age, right? It's the cognitive stuff that is coming along with his age. Because you could be 81 and super fit and super aware and all of those things, but we know that he is not. Do we have some sort of compilation video of that kind of thing?
Yeah.
My God, we do.
We do.
Throughout this horrific war, the people of Lithuania, together with our Baltic brethren, have been among the most fierce champions of Ukraine's right to a future of its own choosing. One that is free. Because you live so long with freedom denied. Many of you who are older know better than anyone how precious the right to determine your own.
Okay, now first things first. Why is one of his eyes closed? Why is that man rocking the one eye closed without a patch? No eye patch. So I don't understand, So he's out there with the one eye, looking like Popeye, trying to give a speech that I don't know what the heck he's talking about. Shimmer me timbers.
The future is precious to people everywhere. Not just in Ukraine, Belarus, Moldova, Georgia. And all the places around the world where people continue to fight to make their voices heard. So my message to all of you United
is what?
Keep it up. Keep it going. Keep reminding the world of hope that Lithuania embodies. And that's what you embody, hope in this country.
So basically keep getting beat up. Trying to inspire people to go to war, but he ain't sending his crackhead son off. That's for sure. That's his diplomatic negotiations and encouragement right there on the global stage. Hey, why don't you take Hunter? He'll fight in between snorts. There you go. The Hunter charge. Just a minute. Wait a minute, Cap. I'm on my way. Hold on one second. That's good. See, so don't get out there and encourage war all over the place and keep up the fight and all that stuff and this and that. He don't even know what's going on in these countries. He's reading off the teleprompter barely and still barely making sense. But now it gets worse. Somebody go get Mika. Somebody go get Mika and Joe and have them explain to me why the crickets have to play for Joe. All right, we're going to be playing tonight for Joe Biden. Apparently, he's going to do some intermissions, and in the middle of thoughts, we'll set up and just, a little jazz set. So now let's see if the cricket band has to fill Joe's spot for his cognitive breaks.
The best way to get something done
is what?
If it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to. Anyway.
Okay.
From
and mid-stride, full speed and come to a complete stop. Anyway, just power it down. What happened? Worst storyteller ever. Leave the audience hanging all the time. You want near and dear. Just you want to get something done, and you know what? Anyway, are you kidding me? I had a friend who used to tell stories like that. Drove his girlfriend crazy. We sitting around talking about track one day, and my man was like, man, I remember I used to have to run track against that dude. Man, it just stopped. Everybody's like, so, what happened? Where does the story go? Oh, man, that dude was fast. That's it? You couldn't finish that? Then you just stopped in the middle of the story. Man, I ran track against that dude. Man, what happened? Oh, that dude was fast. This is what this guy's doing right here. He'll start a story and just stop. But the difference is he can't finish the last part. It ain't one of, that dude is fast. It's like, I don't know the rest of the story. Here it is again.
From Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa. Putin's kleptocracy.
That's one of my favorites right there. That's one of my favorites. That is a glitch all day long. Putin's man, I tell you, he sounded like Richard Pryor when he was doing the stuttering Chinese dude. That's what he sounded like. Putin's unbelievable.
And Joan Shingang.
That's another one of my favorites. Joe Biden. Boy, when he's gone, that's the only part I'm going to miss. All of these gaffes, man, because he's a gaff machine. Oh, baby. My man,
Shanga. $159 billion left. America's.
I love when he do the numbers. I love when he do those number tricks. 50 gazillion, billion, gazillion, 1 and a 0.3, -2 people left. Don't know what he's talking about. This is another one that Mika and Joe must not have seen. Or Black Gay Drop. Because, see, Joe's fit as a fiddle.
A nation that can be defined in a single word.
Single word, though.
I was going to put him... the idea that...
Oh, the crickets are back.
Los Angeles and what am I doing here? For two reasons. One, we haven't been able to communicate it in a way that is...
you can't communicate it
let me say another way. With the nature, not a solid meaning.
Somebody need to hit him in the back so he can spit that mess out. Spit it out, Joe. Slap him in the back of the head so he can spit it out. But Joe, he keeps going. He keeps taking a shot at the title, which he's losing every time he takes a shot. So let's continue.
They make a very good point. Here's the deal.
The crickets are back.
Y'all right upstairs.
It's funny because it's true.
It is, Homer. It's funny because it's true. Is he all right upstairs? That's the question that Mika and Joe needs to be asked. They obviously don't cover these clips, see? So you can see that they have a goal and objective to deceive their audience. They know Joe Biden is blew out mentity. You wouldn't let Joe drive you around. You wouldn't let Joe fly an airplane. You wouldn't let Joe watch your kids. You wouldn't let Joe do nothing. I wouldn't even let Joe cook a ham sandwich that don't even need the oven turned on. I'm going to make a ham sandwich. Don't touch that. Don't touch that ham, Joe, okay? Somehow you'll blow that, mess it all up. Dang on it. So with that being said, Mika and Joe is still trying to convince us that Joe's the better choice, y'all, and Donald Trump is just the same in his mental decline as Joe.
Take a seat if you have one.
Here we go. Some more.
And if I say anything you don't like, don't jump, okay?
Oh, God.
Fully electrified trains on this corridor emit 83% less greenhouse gases, by the way, than driving your car. Things like
than driving your car.
When I was vice president, I convinced the president to do. Provide money for high-speed rail.
Now, why don't somebody come out and tackle him? I don't understand, man. His family is ratchet, man. Maybe they just trying to ride this train until the wheels fall off. But do you really think that Joe Biden could take another 4 years of this dude and he's at this level? Another 4 years of playing the role of the Easter Bunny, perhaps. Another 4 years of standing next to him, the grabbing just in case he goes the wrong way. Have to jump in and guide him off the stage. Or that little black dude who looks like Todd from Zoolander. My mistake, Jacobean. Your mistake indeed. That guy would have to be next to Joe 24-hour. Anthony Blinken, Mucus. They would have to follow him around, and another 4 years, he wouldn't be standing up there by himself. It would be two people standing right behind him and just arms reach, because at any given second, he could go off the rails, fall, or anything. And Jill should know better. Why would he even come out and announce he's running again? Unless they just didn't want it to turn into a mess, off grip. Or I think maybe they want to eliminate a potential primary and just stick a candidate in, because it's too late for them to have a primary at this point. So I think what they're going to try to do is put the person that they absolutely want to be the presidential candidate after Joe. And they couldn't do it if Joe would have been like, well, I'm not running. You would probably have a whole bunch of different, Democrats trying to run. And then they would have to have a primary, and it would be a big to-do, and you may not get the person you want in. It could be a lot of that. I don't think they want to go through that. So I think what they did is say, Joe, just say you're running, all right, up until the last minute, and then we're going to swap you out for the person we really want to run. Because you cannot tell me that this guy right here has a shot at beating Donald Trump, and we're going to find out, because Joe's not popular at all, y'all.
I won't get him into complete trouble. Just tell his first name. He was number 2 in seniority at the time, Angelo.
Oh, God, not the Angelo lie.
I walk in, he said, Joey, and he grabbed my cheek. He said, Joey, baby. I said, all this time, because that's published in the newspaper, that I had traveled 1,200,000 miles on Air Force planes as vice president. Published that on a regular basis. He said, I won't quote him exactly, but he said, big deal, Joey. I said, what's it mean, Angie? He said, look, we just had the retirement.
We all heard this story before.
Up in Newark. He said, you know how many miles you traveled on Amtrak? And I said, no. He said, 1 million. I think it was 320,000 miles.
I think I can smell shite.
I can smell shite.
Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
Oh, yes, I definitely can smell shite. Fact check. Biden twice repeats his false Joey baby story about the deceased Amtrak conductor. Wow. No fact checking?
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Oh, you better be joking.
No, he's not, Negan. He's not joking, and that's the sad part about it. You wish he was joking, because that is crazy. The man repeats the same lies over and over again. And it's almost probably a fresh lie in his head. He don't even realize I'm repeating it, probably. First time I told this story, said, Joey, baby. It's unbelievable. And yet they'll come out here and try to compare him to Trump. They'll try to say Trump, made a boo-boo. He made a gaffe, and y'all always talking about Biden. There is absolutely no comparison. It ain't even close. It's not even close. Joe is a complete embarrassment. So, guys, because he's so garbage, and because the results of his presidency has produced such garbage, they are getting their faces smashed in right now when it comes down to the popularity growth, when it comes down to the MAGA growth, the popularity growth when it comes down to Trump's popularity, and across the globe. So it's not just confined to, the United States. This is a phenomenon that seems to be going all over the place.
I want to tie Trump into this.
So here we go.
I want to also tie the global fight into this, because this cabal certainly expands to other parts. I would say now, Darren Beattie has that phrase, the globalist American empire. Certainly it extends to Western Europe. It extends to...
Stone, man, is brilliant. Listen to his breakdown and analysis of what's going on. I find it to be fascinating. Please, Roger, you've been through a lot. Now that you've finally been cleared to come out and speak your mind, tell us what you think is going on with this garbage.
Exactly right, Jack. There's a direct line from the murder of John Kennedy to the silent coup that removed Richard Nixon, to the attempted takedown of Ronald Reagan in Iran-Contra, which failed, to the...
So, somebody said buffering? Reload it. Somebody said reload it, because apparently I'm not buffering over here. You might have to go ahead and reload. So, anybody else buffering? No buffering there? Well, if you're buffering and some people aren't buffering, sometimes you feel like buffering, sometimes you don't. So just go ahead and reload if you're buffering, refresh. So now, with that being said, let's continue, because see, Roger Stone is showing us how this ain't something new. See, they just been able to get away with the stuff that they've been getting away with, but Trump, unfortunately, done ruffled the feathers. They done went from being able to subtly rig elections and get rid of folks they don't want in power to, you know what? This is DEFCON 5. We got to get rid of this dude. He's an existential threat to our power and control. We can't tame him. We can't control him. We don't have no leash for this dude. He's a pit bull just roaming around the whole neighborhood mad. Okay, so now we got to try to put him down. We got to try to put the pit bull down. But the people love the pit bull. Leave the pit bull go. Let him run around the neighborhood and do what you got to do, okay? All right, he's keeping the neighborhood safe, darn it. So let's go ahead and see how Roger Stone interprets and breaks this down. Here we go.
Attempted takedown of Donald Trump in two phony impeachments, and ultimately removing him from power by manipulating the results of the last presidential election. And this is a struggle between the American people who want to cling to the constitutional freedoms that are outlined in our founding documents, and those who want to give away the sovereignty of the United States and surrender us to the new world order.
Now you hear that? That right there sums it all up. The people want to remain sovereign, but a small group of people want to give over our country to globalists. They want to sell out all of our rights, our freedoms, our safety, all of that to these globalists. They want these globalists telling us where we can travel to, what we can drive, what we can do when we get there, what we got to take for us to travel, all of that stuff. I don't want that, man. I don't want these folks making decisions on how the U.S. operates. And these folks are foolish if they think that these globalists are going to take into consideration the freedom and the values of us once they get control, because they got their own set of values. They got some crazy spooky stuff going on when they go and meet up there with the G7 and all of that mess, talking about some we the 1% can hack the minds of the people, and then when we hack the minds of the people, we can control what they think and what they believe and how they feel and what they... I don't want that mess, man. And Joe Biden's crooked, nasty tail was sitting up there in that G7 meeting when they were talking about hacking the minds of the people, and we the 1% can control everyone else, and he didn't say nothing. So that is what we're up against. We're saying, don't y'all sell us out. And the only way they can sell us out is to continue using a lot of propaganda to convince the ignorant population in our country that they're doing good. They're fighting against injustice and racism and tyranny and all of this stuff, while all the way shipping us right on out to be brought into a one world government, a global network where we will lose our sovereignty. And if we don't wake up, we'll wake up and find that, wow, we're not a country anymore. We're not America. We're the country of the global whatever. And if you wake up in that moment, you would have woke up too late. You might as well stay asleep at that point. But let's continue. What else, Roger?
Global government with a game plan laid out by the World Economic Forum and other elites. There is really only one man. There's only one political force that can stop this. That man is Donald J. Trump. who does so at enormous personal cost to himself.
Enormous personal cost to himself. That's why he's a pain in their butt, because they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this man. And I commend him. Honestly, I'm a Trump fan. I mean, on multiple levels. At first, I love Trump because of his policies and all of that. But now his character, to be able to go through this type of attack, so obvious, so rampant, going after his money, going after his friends, going after his family, going after his voters, going after his finances, and still moving forward. That is why his support grows. People will follow a leader into battle when they see the leader is willing to take all the arrows that he's demanding you take as well. So that is why I'm a Trump fan. That's why I love Trump. Trump's the first president I can say I love. I love my president. If something, God forbid, this is one of the moments I've seen leaders come and go. I've seen leaders pass away. Even Reagan, he was a good president, and this would be one of the things I would actually grieve the day that Donald Trump gets old and passes away. I'd be like, oh, no, not Don Trump, man. I love that guy. He's one of those larger than life characters. Now, don't get it twisted. He's no God. He's not an idol. He's just a man that God is using that has a wonderful story and a journey to develop and bring in the admiration and love from the people as you just watch him go through this journey. And the whole time you're going, they did what again? How many times they're going, why are they messing with his family? Why are they messing with it? What you mean they didn't lock Roger Stone up? This is bullcrap. And these evil folks are doing it right out in the open in front of our faces and saying, you know what? This is a do or die moment for us. Either we stop this dude and then be able to shut you guys up, or he wins and he shuts us up. So we have no time to entertain you folks out there just talking about some America first and MAGA and you know what, the USA. We have no time for you. Okay, we don't have the time to try to convince y'all that we have free and fair elections. It's too late for that. All right, we just got to stop this dude, and we'll worry about y'all afterwards. So let's continue with Roger Stone's assessment.
And that movement is not the Republican Party. It's the America First movement, which has seized control of the Republican Party at the grassroots level.
Thus, you flush out the rhinos. Because, see, the rhinos think that the people are still loyal to the Republican Party. No, it's the populist movement. The people are more loyal to Trump than the Republican Party. And until the Republican Party realizes that, they're always going to be stifled. As long as we got rhinos in there, we're going to have problems constantly, sabotages, all of that mess. And really the people we've hijacked the Republican Party. The only reason they're tolerating us is because Trump has the loyalty of the people. If they could turn us against him, then we're back to business as usual. That's what their goal is. It's like, man, we got to pretend like we like Trump. Lindsey Graham and all of them. Yeah, Trump. Because they're scared of the people. That's the only reason those rhinos are still pretending to be loyal to Trump. And many of them just said, I can't even do it. I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger early. I don't like him. I think he's a danger and existential threat. So you had some of them that already done sold out and just decided to bow out because they're going to take it to the chin. However, a lot of them, and I guarantee you, if he wins the nominee, a lot of them are going to immediately, Trump, he's the best. And behind closed doors was stabbing right in the back, like Mitch McConnell and the rest of them. Unbelievable.
And you're right. Any place where we have free, fair, honest, transparent elections, the forces of freedom will win. Yeah. We just saw this in Argentina. Yeah. Argentina has elected Javier Milei. I love this guy. I got to tell you, he's the real deal. He understands that you have to entertain people, you have to be interesting in order to get their attention and educate them. But he's the real deal. Like Trump, he's a showman. Like Trump, he makes it interesting and fun, and his message is upbeat and positive and provocative. But he is an anarcho-capitalist, as he calls himself.
You see him out there with that chainsaw? Man, I don't know what he's talking about, but it looks fun. That's one of them parties I like to kick it with. Like, oh man, I'm going down to Argentina just to see this dude put on a show. But see, he doesn't just entertain the people. He has substance to go along with it. And that's what makes people like Trump, people like him, and other leaders more impacting, when they have a message behind their personality. You can't just have a personality. You got to have a message behind it too. You got those two combinations, boy, you are hard to contend with. That's why Ron DeSantis is struggling so much. One, because he sold Trump out early. But two, his personality, as you just saw the clip earlier, where he was laughing and convulsing in the midst of laughing, you're looking at that and you're going, I don't know if I can tolerate that. That would start to get under my skin like Kamala Harris. All of that. So you got to have some type of flair, but you got to have a message. You can't just come out there with all flair, because then you're Gavin Newsom. You're Gavin Newsom. Just walking around with, the mouthpiece, but no substance to back it up. So this is starting to spread across the darn country.
This is a guy who's extremely well educated, extremely well read,
across the globe,
extremely
should I say?
Determined, and the bottom line for him, as it is with Trump, is freedom. It's all about freedom.
Freedom. The freedom that they want to shut down. Everything about the left is designed to constrict our freedom. Yet they call Trump and all of these others dictators, far right, extremists, fascists. But none of them are saying, hey man, you know what we want? We want to go ahead and constrict your freedom of speech. We want to go ahead and constrict your right to bear arms. We want to go ahead and constrict your freedom when it comes down to your resources. You can have the money that you can control, instead of let's go ahead and get a digital currency going so we can control your money. See, all of these things that the left is trying to put in place are designed to constrict our freedom. And they're doing it subtly, trying to disguise it as progress, technology, and all of that. But really, when you unravel it, these are methods and catalysts to control you, to follow you, to make sure that if you get out of hand, they don't have to use force right away. All they can use is all the things you've been connected to that they put in place to control you. Oh, you don't like what? Okay, let's go ahead and just shut down his bank account. Now what are you going to eat, huh? How are you going to purchase the gas for your man truck? See, we told you to go out and get yourself an electric car, but you didn't listen. So now you're not going to have anything. You're not going to have anything. What do you mean you're cold in your house? See, if you weren't burning that coal, see, if you weren't burning that gas, you'd be all right. Now, what I need you to do is convert your whole house into a solar panel, and then maybe we'll turn back on you. See, it's stuff like that you got to say, hey, all technology isn't good if it is backed up by some type of evilness and goal and agenda. I don't want you being able to turn my car off in the middle of me driving somewhere because you control it. Dang on it. That's why I got me a car that ain't connected to no technology. My man Jeep. Go off-road anytime I want. Go off the grid. Now, let's get back to this guy in Argentina and my boy right here, Roger Stone.
So it proves, since they have paper ballots 100% in Argentina, and they count all their votes in one day, it proves that...
How are they able to do that? Paper ballots and count them all in one day, but yet us here in America just can't figure it out. Takes weeks, sometimes months. Wonder what we're doing wrong. What we're doing wrong. It's wrong by design. That's what it is. It's, man, we don't want a full-blown safe way to be able to count these ballots. We want a loosey-goosey program so we can go ahead and work in the darkness and in the gray area and all of the chaos, because they are agents of chaos. Let's continue.
Have a free, fair, honest election, the forces of freedom will win. That's the case in the United States coming up. If we have an honest election, we will win. He's just done it, which is proof that it can be done. Just as Brexit was the precursor to Trump's election in the United States. The election of Malay is the precursor to Trump's triumph here in the United States.
Well, you know, Roger, I was coming through Union Station just this very morning as I walked through, and I happened to find upon myself to see a copy of The Economist. This is this is the tip sheet for the globalist. This is the neoliberal agenda, and you've got their cover right there. And I know this has gone viral, but I wanted to put this up. The World Ahead 2024, they said the biggest danger
is what?
In the entire world, and it's not just...
Is what? Globalism? I thought the biggest danger was climate change. None of that? Huh? COVID? No, instead it is what?
Just Donald Trump, and of course they've got his visage there, but they say it's Trumpism.
Trumpism. Populism. See, by the way, we got 420 people watching. Thank you very much. Appreciate everybody. Hit the like button. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, bang, bang. Okay? Now, they say Trumpism, y'all. Now, can you believe this? These globalists are all converging upon we gotta stop one man. Because even though we have all these other countries where populist candidates are rising up, none of them will affect the globe like the United States will if Trump gets reelected. So this right here, these are micro symptoms of what's going on here in the U.S. These smaller countries, these people are going, yeah, we want our freedom too. We don't want illegal immigrants posted up all over the place. Yeah, why we got to be called, racist and white nationalists? Because we want to keep our culture in this country and not be bullied into accepting folks into the country that don't care about the country. We want our country back. And they don't want this mentality to become contagious and start spreading around the globe, especially when they're so close to their world global domination. They don't want that. So now they come out with this dang on economist thing saying the world ahead 2024. Trumpism is the worst threat to the globe. Are you kidding me?
Taking over the world, smashing the globalist infrastructure that they've put together. Roger, do you think they're right?
Wow. Let's see some examples.
Moroccans are overrepresented enormously in the Dutch crime statistics.
What?
More than 60% of the Moroccan youth under the age of 23 has been arrested by the Dutch police. And they are in general...
Now look at this populist down there. I think in the Netherlands or Dutch. He's Dutch, I guess. And he's talking about, all of these folks that are just, wreaking havoc in their country.
When it comes to violent street crimes, 20 times more often being arrested on many crimes.
But if a given society has a problem with members of one particular group, is it...
Here we go. Now this man right here is going to attempt to slide in the racist analogy. If one has an opinion about... Somebody said Holland? Okay, so let's see how this man handles that as a populist.
Wise for a politician to ostracize the whole group?
Well, it's wise to tell the truth.
Well, look at that. Now that sounds like something Trump would do. It's wise to tell the truth. All right. If they're acting a fool, they're acting a fool. I'm not going to soften it up to try to tiptoe around their emotions. The stats don't lie. It's kind of like the inner city and all the gun violence. But they don't want to talk about that stuff. They don't want to tell the truth. They don't want to tell the truth about the biggest threat to black men is not white nationalist cops. Okay, it's black on black crime. They don't want to tell the truth. Yeah, don't say that. You might offend some of the gang bangers out there shooting in the neighborhoods constantly. You might make them feel bad about the gang banging. You don't want them to feel a little self-conscious about killing. So they don't want the truth being told.
I did not invent that people from Morocco are overrepresented in the statistics.
Is that high rate of crime because these people are Moroccan?
Here comes the excuse. Here comes the liberal attempt to try to make it seem like, now wait, don't be labeling all these people. Don't be demonizing all these immigrants that you've allowed to come into the country. Do you realize that you change the culture of your country when you bring in a large amount of people as refugees, not as people who applied for citizenship in the country? They're coming here as refugees. Basically, they have been skyrocketed right into your country. No process, no ability to change and adapt to your country, to learn to love the country, to show some type of commitment to the country. And yet they're bypassing all the other Arab countries that's around them that could take them in. Isn't it funny how they're all getting shuffled into Western countries, and yet the Muslim countries around them are going, no, don't bring them there. Send them to America, send them to the Holland, send them to the Netherlands, don't send them here. Why is that? Huh? Because they understand the fundamental principle of if you change the culture in your country drastically, not even sprinkle it in over time. Just, okay, here's 100,000 folks. There you go. You think they're going to make a quick adjustment when it comes down to loving the country? They're going to all huddle up and continue their own cultural values, their own mentality. It's not that you don't want them to do that, but when it could potentially buck up against the way your country's harmony is flowing, that's a problem. You know, you don't went from playing all together jazz to just throwing some rock. Y'all up at what is that? What is that? Hey, look, we're playing jazz over here. Why are you kicking the speakers over there? Learn to play with the band. I don't come in talking about, I want to join your band. Okay, well, we're a classical band. Well, so what? I like screaming and We don't need that right now. How about you go join a band that wants to scream and vomit up on a microphone, okay? So these folks are bringing people into the country that don't want to fit into the band. And that's a problem. Now, isn't it crazy that Western countries get labeled as racist, white nationalists, too white, too whatever? But yet China doesn't. Japan doesn't. African countries don't. They will say, don't bring them folks over here, and nobody says anything. They can say, we want to hang on to our religion, our cultural values. We don't want it being watered down and challenged by a whole bunch of people running around going, shame, 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 free Palestine, free Palestine. We don't want that. We don't want the headaches that we see going on over in your Western countries where folks are doing crazy stuff, showing up all the time, taping their hands to the dang on concrete, blocking traffic. We don't want those type of problems. But yet, we got to take them because we're stupid. And then you get folks like this who want to imply that the reason you're bringing this stuff up is to isolate people, to victimize, demonize, and to go ahead and do all of that stuff. This guy's like, no, I'm going ahead and quoting some facts, bro.
Or is that also because they are unemployed?
I'm not a psychologist.
Here we go. Is that also because they're unemployed? No. Just because you're unemployed don't make you have to commit violence. Don't make you have to shoot. We was unemployed growing up. We didn't go out and start doing crazy stuff. Okay, just because they're unemployed, could it be? Always making excuses for groups of people like this instead of looking at the hardcore facts. Same thing in the black neighborhoods. You know what? That's because of racism, and it's because of they're hungry. And then, of course, slavery. Slavery that none of them even know anything about because the education system sucks. They might have watched a clip from Roots, but that's about it. My name is Kunta Kinte, and no, it's Toby. That's it. It's as far as they know about racism. So they make excuses for these people and try to paint a common sense leader as racist or what is it? Not misogynistic, but the xenophobic and things like that. No, call me whatever you want, but I'm going to keep my people safe. I can't trust that everybody we bring into a country is going to love the country and do right. We got enough problems on our own versus bringing in a whole bunch of other problems.
Sociologist, I don't care why people are criminal. If I would become the Prime Minister of the Netherlands next year, after I would win the elections, close the Dutch borders for immigrants from Islamic countries immediately.
You'd only be able to do that, of course, if you followed Britain out of the European Union.
Exactly.
Get out of there.
We transferred our sovereign rights, not only when it comes to our monetary policy or our budgetary policy, but also our immigration policy. And we transfer that to Brussels. So we have to regain our...
And that's the problem with being a part of this European globalist whatever union, the UN, because they set rules for a lot of these countries to participate in it. And so this man is saying, look, we have to get out of that mess. Like Brexit. We got to get out of that because we want control over our borders. We don't want the UN determining and demanding that we take this many refugees and all of that stuff. People are sick of that mess. But you get all of these leaders somehow manipulated and on board with these policies. Whatever incentive is given to them to sell out their country, they're okay with it. And too dumb to realize that this is going to impact your country on a level that you cannot imagine. You might get an immediate reward or benefit from playing ball with the UN, but your country will suffer long term when you are no longer a country that has the same values. You cannot operate if the country is all on different accords. What do you think the Tower of Babel, the reason that happened is because they were once on one accord, and then once they all changed the language, they all were like, man, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Hey, I'm out of here. Peace. Let's abandon the project. That's what will happen to the United States if we keep toying around with immigration. We keep letting them bully us into taking people from all over the world and don't let them assimilate. We keep our border wide open for whatever motive we have. After a while, we won't recognize the culture anymore. It ain't going to be, hey, man, remember we all grew up playing baseball and watching football and all that. It won't be that. Remember how the 70s were great and we used to all dance with our bell bottoms and all of that. They're going to be like, don't know nothing about that. America, it's all about baseball, hot dogs, and that. No, it's not about that. That's a problem. And folks don't realize that. What makes us relate to each other is the culture. So if we go to another country right now and run across an American in that country, you have a connection immediately because the culture. It don't matter if they're black, white, Chinese, Asian, if they were born here in America or they became an immigrant legally into our country, there are cultural, differences, but still there's cultural commonality to whereas you would immediately say, I'm going to gravitate towards you because we have something in common. We're both American citizens. We understand the value of freedom. We understand these things that other countries don't have. That's what makes us American. But when you hate those things, or when you got people who's indifferent to those things, you're going to have a divided, fractured country. That stuff leads to your country being more willing to accept a one world global government because you have no loyalty to your own country. Unreal that these populist candidates have to bring this out.
You would hold a referendum.
We would hold a referendum in the Netherlands for what we call a Nexit, the Dutch leaving, in order to be able to toughen up our immigration policies. It cannot be done, and it will not be done by Brussels and the European Union. You have to become a sovereign nation again in order to do that.
Thank you. You have to become a sovereign nation again to do that. That is why they're doing everything to break up our sovereignty in the U.S. So I see it. Y'all see it. Wouldn't you like to see it too? That's all I'm trying to say. See, the folks that are walking around like, have no idea that they are chipping away at our sovereignty. So if you don't recognize that and you keep voting these folks in, like Big Tooth Roger Rabbit here, Beaver, now she's going to flip the script, y'all. See, they done already sent a message to, the Peanut Head in New York has a brand. Yeah, he's under fire right now. So she's going to go ahead and make excuses. But look at this. Look at this, y'all. See, this is what happened when you open your borders up and you try to come across as if we're doing this for these people to have asylum and a better life. And you reveal the real motive of why you're doing it in the midst of that. So now listen to what she says as they all call the folks who says, nope, don't mess up our culture with illegal immigration and all of that stuff. They call us xenophobic, but what do you think this is?
Here in search of work and a new future, and they can become part of our economy and part of our communities.
How? They can become a part of our economy and a part of our future by doing what? Becoming president, becoming CEOs, becoming governors and mayors, becoming all of these things, or becoming what?
So, when you think about what we have open right now, I know upstate. I know
what we got, high-paying executive jobs for these people? That's what we have?
Exactly where it starts, too. There are over 5,000 farm jobs.
Oh, so you see, Bucky, leading teeth first. All you see is teeth right there on the screen. So now Bucky right here is talking about hey, listen up, everybody. We got jobs for these people. I'm not going to go ahead and sabotage myself by saying, New York has a brand, and you know what, the government's not helping out, and you know what, the Biden administration, next feds are showing up, and I'm investigating. I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do is flip the script and say that, hey, all you people coming in, we got some low-level jobs for you guys. Just one notch above slaves, one notch above serfs. We'll let you till the land for us. There you go. So how are these people supposed to assimilate into our country anyway? If they're working farm jobs, making probably the cheapest labor ever, you think they're going to be able to buy nice houses, nice cars, and really get the American dream? Huh? Do you think that? You think they're not going to still be a burden on the education system, and they're not going to be a burden on the medical system and stuff? How much money do you think these people are going to be making? The only people who will benefit from that is going to be the people who's paying them, because they're going to go ahead and be able to, provide those apples and oranges and all of that stuff at a very cheap rate and make profits off of that. And the consumer is still going to have to recycle their money through taxes to supplement all of the other things that'll come along from folks that aren't making enough money and duplicating and having kids, and their kids have to go into the education system and medical and all of that stuff. You can't pay for all of that stuff if you're making $4.50 an hour picking tomatoes or something like that. So it's all going to still impact the country. But Bucky right here seems to go ahead and say these people will fit right into doing stuff like that, like Nancy Pelosi. Yes, we have them. We have some fruit that they could pick down in Florida and all of that and clean my pools.
5,000 farm jobs open as we speak.
5,000.
The cows don't wait to be milked. The plants need to be maintained and harvested in a few months.
Now, I would be upset. This sounds like an old slave driver. Sounds like somebody who owns a plantation. Ain't gonna milk themselves. Listen, we need folks to go out there and pick the cotton. We need folks to go out there and pick them tomatoes. They ain't on it. Our pools need cleaning. We want folks to cook the food for us. That's what she sounds like. So if I was an illegal immigrant, I'd be like, wait a minute. What do you mean? We need to pick that the cows aren't going to milk themselves. Hey, Bucky, why don't you take those two big fronts, go down there and start the milking yourself? That's what I want to know. But here's Bucky up here talking about the cows ain't going to milk themselves, but yet these people are the ones that are compassionate and want these people to come here for a better life.
The props.
If you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Well, there you go. Now, here that dummy right there, clip back in the day, that really shows how the left thinks. As she's trying to insult Donald Trump, she insults all of the illegal immigrants. That's how dumb the left is, man. If you're going to kick all of these immigrants out of the country, then who's going to clean your toilets, Donald Trump? Because that's the worth of them all. There you go. These people are worth to us votes, and they're worth cleaning and doing dirty jobs that we don't want to do. But yet we're up here talking about you're misogynist, racist, xenophobe if you don't want them in the country. I would say, how about you stay in your own country and keep your pride and work down there and do whatever you can to build up your own country versus come here and do serf labor. One step above free labor. And they're talking about who's going to clean your toilets, Donald Trump. So let's get back to Roger Stone. Here we go.
This is the most graphic example of Alinskyism I've ever seen. They accuse us of exactly what they're doing.
Tina.
Let's watch carefully what lunatics like Joe Scarborough,
who,
by the way, had no problem with Donald Trump when he was laying by his pool, drinking his whiskey and eating his food.
Isn't that crazy?
And only fell out when he found out he wasn't on the vice presidential shortlist.
No, isn't that odd? Isn't that odd? How Mika and Joe that we saw in the beginning of the show talking about something, this is crazy, there's no choice, it's a false choice. And people gonna really vote for Joe Biden, Donald Trump over Joe Biden? You know what, this is making me lose my mind. Those two used to hang out and chill in Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, all of that. Same thing with many of them. Hillary Clinton inviting Trump to Chelsea's wedding and all of that stuff. They loved him. They loved him. All the rappers hanging out with him. But then the media decide to, deem him to be a far extremist and a right winger and a white nationalist and a xenophobe and Hitler and Mussolini and Mao and all of them all wrapped up into one.
But Joe and Minka really lived it up at Mar-a-Lago. I can tell you that firsthand, sending all the bills to Donald Trump. Whether it's him or whether this lunatic on MSNBC, whose name I can't actually pronounce, what do they say? Trump will arrest his political enemies.
What?
I mean, like they did with Donald Trump.
Get him, Roger.
And Jack Smith or Fonnie Wills or Alvin Bragg. Trump is going to sick law enforcement on those who seek to protest.
Like what?
I mean, like they did on January 6th. Trump is going to.
Roger's off the leash. Roger's off the leash. He ain't got to adhere to that gag order no more. So now he's speaking his mind. And I guarantee you the left hates it. If they could gag him right now with a spoon, they would. If they could sit back and say, you know what, well, let's go ahead and bring him up on some more bootleg false charges so we can shut him up. We don't like those people out there speaking the truth. But yet the left is the ones that are protecting our democracy.
Is going to set up concentration camps. Well, yes, we have to house the illegal immigrants in this country someplace before we deport them.
Yeah.
Dwight Eisenhower deported.
And see, they try to make it seem like those concentration camps is going to be gassing these folks and running experiments on them and forcing them to do labor and all of that stuff. See, that's not what it's for. See, they want you to think that. But these concentration camps is because of what Joe Biden and the Democrats have allowed to happen in our country. To where now we got millions and millions of illegal immigrants running around the country. Some we don't know who or where they are, what their intentions are. So yes, now, instead of being able to go ahead and stop you at the border and send you back and say, nah, no mas, borders closed. Now we got to go ahead and stack y'all somewhere and say, all right, this group is up next. 100,000 of y'all, go. All right, next, where y'all from? We're taking you back. These aren't labor concentration camps, but the left wants you to think that because these globalists is trying to stop Donald Trump. They don't want everybody to say, that sounds smart. That's common sense right there. This guy's on to something.
1.3 million illegals during his presidency. That proves that it can be done. So Trump stands for America. Trump stands for Americanism.
And that's why they hate him.
And therefore, they have to smear him now by claiming that he's the one that's a danger to democracy.
What?
Let's be clear. They're the ones who are surveilling us without warrants. They're the ones who are censoring our free speech.
What?
They're the ones who are arresting and locking up their political opponents.
Get him, Roger.
They are the ones who have opened the border to terrorists and criminals.
Give me some more.
Who is it that is endangering democracy? I would argue that it's Joe Biden and the globalist cabal run by, in this country, by Barack Obama, that endangers democracy.
Wow.
They keep saying, if Trump is elected, it's the last election we'll ever have. Yeah. No, wrong. If Joe Biden is reelected, it's the last election you will ever have.
Uppercut. Roger Stone just gave them an upcut. That's right. All of that crap that they're projecting on Trump, they themselves are guilty of. And yet they say, if Donald Trump gets elected, man, I tell you what, this is going to be the last. He's going to set himself up a king. But in reality, we know what awaits us if Donald Trump somehow miraculously loses, which should be impossible without shenanigans going on. That's why Argentina was onto something with those write-in ballots. Benny Johnson has been covering video after video of election fraud, voting machines acting up, dead votes, all of this stuff, man, harvesting votes, all of this mess. A broken election process enables corruption. It allows them to operate in the shadows. So without some shenanigans going on, they are going to take a shellacking. I guarantee it, just like they took one the last time. And got the nerve to be lying to us about some 81 million votes, the most popular president of all time. So Roger Stone comes out and says, no. Y'all are going to break the system once and for all if y'all can stop Trump. Because Trump right now is the only one that will correct the broken system, that will challenge it and reconstruct it. So they know that, man, if we could just get over this hump if we could just stop this dude, if we could get over the Trump hump, that's what it is. It's the Trump hump. If they get over the Trump hump, then they got free reign. They will turn their attention on the public and say, wow, we finally got rid of the populists. We finally made sure we stopped the one man who's going to put his foot so far up our rump, so the Trump hump going to put his foot up they rump. That's what would happen. And they know it. So they know that if we can stop him, now we can set these elections just like we want them. Because all we got left in is rhinos.
It's like
Roger
is the mirror image of reality.
Roger, I got to ask, by the way, an administration, a regime having their political opponents locked up.
Roger knows something about this.
Sending FBI officers, FBI SWAT teams in to raid them in the middle of the night. I mean, it's a good thing nothing like that's ever happened.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Only in a third world country that would happen, right, Roger?
Exactly. Look, until you've experienced that personally,
what happened to him?
It's very hard to really measure, the effect on you. My wife still, if anything goes bump in the night, she bolts upright, and she's been known to have panic attacks. It's understandable.
Why is that, Roger?
FBI raids your home at 6 o'clock in the morning to arrest you for the first time, nonviolent, completely contrived crime of lying to Congress about Russian collusion that never actually happened.
What? Roger Stone, wait a minute. What country do you live in? It can't be America. It gotta be Venezuela or somewhere like that. Russia, China? Because surely that did not happen to you, Roger Stone. An old man with his wife who's blind and their dog gets raided by the FBI 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning. Just so happened they ain't on CNN riding by, I guess, just randomly riding by, got their coffee, going to the office. You know what? So today, what are we going to do? I don't know. We'll see what the day looks like. What is this? Is that Roger Stone's house? How do we know that? I don't know. But I think it's Roger Stone's house. And those look like FBI agents gonna swooping around the back of the, you know what? Get the camera. We might catch something organic. So now they bust in this cat's house, raid his crib, all of that. You got police, FBI agents, helicopters, boats, automatic weapons for this guy. And now his wife is all messed up. I would, if you hear a bump in the night, you're like, oh shoot, is that the fans again for no reason? And that's exactly where they want the population to be at. Afraid at any second for what I say, what I support, what I believe, they might just go ahead and come up with some trumped up charges to bust in my crib and do that. You're sitting there suspicious. They want that paranoia. They want you to feel like if I go out to protest, I just might come back as a domestic terrorist somehow. See, that's what they want. These are the tactics that they will implement on full level if we do not get this last election coming up. That's what it's going to be for us. It's going to be the last election.
How do you lie about something that never happened? What would be your motive?
Right.
So it's an absurdity, but it is the excesses of these people and their government overreach. They're brutal. They're vicious. They don't care about destroying lives. They don't care about destroying families. They certainly don't care about destroying Donald Trump. They don't want to just defeat him at the polls.
What else?
They want to lock him up in prison for the rest of his life.
Why?
Because he is an existential threat to their entire globalist plan to destroy and control.
Ain't never lied. Roger, baby. I'm digging it, man. That is so true. Because Trump is an idea. See, that's what they don't realize. These folks that I hate Trump, Trump's a white nationalist, this and that. The reason his popularity keeps growing is what he stands for. Yeah, he is a symbol of how all of us regular people that feel like, man, our leaders are abusing us and taking advantage of us. And then you see a leader who is saying, I'm going to protect your rights, your freedoms, your liberties, all of these things. And then you see the elites, the powerful, attacking him. It makes you feel like he can relate to the common man. You know how powerless it feels to sit back and watch them do what they do at the border. And you're going, I see them doing wrong and I can't do nothing about it. And then there's one person who says, if y'all elect me, I will. I hear you. I see exactly what y'all see. They think Trump convinced us that all of his policies make sense. What Trump did is echoed what we already were seeing. And we said, yeah, that is about time somebody see that. I was wondering why we can't fix that. I was wondering why this never gets done. I was thinking the same thing. Why are we doing this? So Trump just simply echoed what a lot of Americans were thinking and feeling. And now, all of a sudden, he's a thorn in their butt. So they like, we got to shut this man down and then kill the idea. We got to demonize anybody who thinks that America First policies work, anybody who is a patriot, anybody who loves the country, anybody who says USA, anybody who supports the flag. We got to put them in a category as far-right extremists until we demonize them out of society, or even worse.
Country. When he walked out of Madison Square Garden,
what happened?
It was f***ing bananas.
Really? What?
It
Went
was,
crazy.
the whole place was cheering.
Get out.
He walks out to Kid Rock's American Badass.
Yeah. That's why I love
with Kid Rock and Tucker Carlson walking in like the right-wing Avengers.
What?
And the place went nuts.
And the left was mad when Joe Rogan said that, because that's what they don't want. The right-wing Avengers. And what I would call them is the American First Avengers, the MAGA Avengers. Right there. That's what I'm calling it.
On the screen, and I'm telling you, the 99% of them, Bill Burr's wife. 99%.
Bill Burr's wife.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah. That's a Bud Light moment right there.
It was a Bud Light moment.
The f***ing cheers of the crowd were nuts.
Nuts? This is what they don't like. Populist. Look at that. That's why Mika and them hate him. We don't want to see this. Look at that. The people love it. Now, I'm about to show y'all how they respond to a populist movement right here. The folks that love Trump, they got to convince us that no, it's not true. Nobody loves Trump. Y'all just making that up. Them rumors, y'all. Folks really love Biden. So they're going to send out their minions to try to gaslight us in a second. And it's hilarious. Here we go. Look at that. That's bad ASS right there. Bing, bing. The red, white, and blue, baby.
I mean, you had to hear what the crowd sounded like before he walked in, and then when he did.
Man, this is too funny. Donald Trump got booed as he arrived at the Clemson, South Carolina college football game tonight. You've got to see it. Take a look at the clip.
Oh, man, maybe I done hitched my wagon to the wrong horse. You telling me Donald Trump got booed at the Clemson game? Dang on it, maybe he ain't as popular as I thought, y'all. Y'all hear this little Pop-Tart on TikTok who's paid to try to flip the narrative that Trump is popular by coming up and showing this footage. Okay, a small little gathering right there. I hear some minor boos. Okay. Okay, there's Trump. Boo. Sounds like maybe 3 or 4 people. Yeah. Their boo band sucks. They're off key. What kind of boo band is that? My boo band is the bomb.
Isn't that just fantastic? Shout out to everybody who is booing Donald Trump there. I love it. And look, that's South Carolina. That's a Republican state. That's Trump country at South Carolina Stadium. He should.
Y'all hear the Pop-Tart? So this little Pop-Tart, who of course gets paid to go ahead and try to keep the narrative about Trump negative, to influence young people to think that Trump sucks and all that stuff. He's stretching it. Look at that. That's awesome. He don't even sound sincere. It's awesome, isn't it? Look at that, man. I mean, it's great. They did a great job to boo Trump.
Should be getting applause there, but instead, people are booing him. I'm telling you, the American people are done with Donald Trump. The Republicans in Congress or the MAGA conservatives in the Republican media will tell you that Donald Trump is loved everywhere.
Yeah. Because I've been to many events where Trump was there, and they all loved him. See, so I saw it with my own eyes, little Pop-Tart, okay? So now you're trying to gaslight me. So y'all hear him? But what did he leave out, y'all? What do you think he left out?
But it's just not true. The American people are fed up with Donald Trump and his antics and the awful things he did to this country. I mean, this guy is facing over 700 years in prison for crimes he committed against the United States.
For crimes he committed against the United States. You mean for nothing? For nothing?
Look, that's why he's getting booed. Donald Trump is a bad guy.
He's a bad guy, so don't vote for him.
His Vance team assembled the people to then try to cheer for him. You can see him peering out pensively from his car as the boos rained down, waiting to pull away to where Chung and Miller were assembled with the fans that they had put right there.
The fans that they put right there.
In Republican.
Y'all hear that? These folks on TikTok or wherever are paid to try to spin this. That man said what the booze are raining down, y'all. The paid folks that they put in there. You mean the paid folks? That's a lot of money. Because we're about to see if these are all paid folks, then they done broke the piggy bank.
Now he's booed in deep red South Carolina. And as I said, the popularity is a facade.
So look at this. Oh, wait, there's the real footage. Oh, wow. Look at all those paid supporters right there, I guess. That's a lot of money, okay? $100 for 50,000 people each. Woo! That's a lot of money you had to dish out. Spontaneously, too. Interesting. Yeah, okay, yeah. Are you coming into the game? Okay. There's $100 if you cheer for Trump. Look at that. Now, this is the left's nightmare. This is populism right here. This is the group of people, they go, oh, shit. He's running our diabolical global scheme. He's also impacting the young folks. Now, what do you think would happen if Biden walked out in that environment? First of all, he'll fall 3 or 4 times before he gets out there. And when he gets there, he won't know where he's at. Won't know what to do. Stand right here next to me, Biden. Where you going? Where you going? Get back over here. What? Chocolate chip somewhere around here. But yet, Trump goes out there in the middle of that, after watching those little Pop-Tarts there just say Trump got booed and he's not popular. Wow. Man, why did they omit this? USA. I'm gonna have to send this video footage to the Pop-Tarts. America, man. That's all we need out there right about now. Is the macho man, Randy Savage. That's right, get over here, MAGA. Right now. You're looking at Donald Trump. That's right, baby. Look at that. Look at all those people who hate him. Look at all those people booing him with their cell phones. See, all of those yay and whistles are really a dog whistle. The translation are all boos. That's what that is right there. That's what I'm hearing. Yet, you see these people try to gaslight us? And yet they want to think that Donald Trump is not popular with the people. I knew he was going to destroy Hillary Clinton when I would go to some of his rallies and go, now, wait just a minute. First of all, I'm not being ran out by white nationalists. I'm shocked. I'm perplexed. Why aren't they chasing me out of here talking about, get yourself out of here, boy. You ain't supposed to be up in here. This for whites only. That didn't happen. It was harmonious in there. Lots of love. And then secondly, I couldn't understand why all those thousands of people were showing up there and nobody was showing up for Hillary, which we're about to see what showed up for Joe Biden in a second. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Boo. They're all booing. Boo. Boo. Yay, boo. I don't hear any boos in that. Look at the people reaching. Now, you know the Democrats are watching this going, I'm melting. I love it. Look at that. Yay! Anybody hear any boos in that crowd? Anybody hear any boos? No? Okay. Look at that. Yeah. Cheerleaders. Yay. Only group of people I saw a couple boos from and some other footage was the band members. But who cares? The band members. So let's continue. What? Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Break it down. What? Yeah, look at that. All of those haters. Oh, wait, yo. Okay. So now, did the Pop-Tarts see this video footage of Biden and his popularity in Nantucket? Let's go ahead and see. Here we go. All right. Let's check out this part. Okay. Okay, I don't hear no yays. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! There he is with that bad gate. Ain't bending the knees. Ain't even able to bend the knees. He got the wooden legs with the real feet.
Well, we have been trapped on the porch. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
It's a bag of bones walking.
How you doing, Mr. President?
Your hat.
Appreciate that.
Is that a hat?
USS Nantucket.
Love your appreciate your service. Hat.
Good lunch.
Good grief. Where's all the screens? Where's all the screens, y'all? Wow. Uh-huh. And he's in his territory, Nantucket. Yeah, all liberal. He is a fake president. Thank you. Faker than a $3 bill. Look at him. Big old crook. Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, crap. I thought they was cheering for him. My fault. I'm sure those are white nationalist Trump supporters harassing him, right? Or are they his own voters? Yeah. Break it down, y'all. No cheers in this? No cheers in all of that, guys. Now, isn't that ironic that those Pop-Tarts left all of that out? And Mika and Joe / Beaker is swearing up and out. Joe's not old. He's just challenged, agely challenged. And Trump is just as bad. And there's no choice. There's no choice. And yet that guy in his own backyard got no love whatsoever. In fact, he got booed and harassed by his own people. Unbelievable. So now we're going to close with this footage that I stumbled across online of the J6 scenario. Now, this is interesting because we just heard Roger Stone break it down and tell us how, yeah, our own government has been going in hard on us, y'all. They've been going ahead and setting us up. They've been going ahead and trying to use all of this garbage to make it seem as if Trump supporters are the worst threat to the homeland and this MAGA movement and all of that stuff. And then didn't want to release this footage. And now we'll see why. And Raggedy Ray kept going up there on the Capitol. If you're implying that the FBI had anything to do with the J6 violence or planning of it, that is emphatically wrong and false and this and that. Well, somebody needs to explain these things right here. Look at that. Who is this guy pulling people in? Why is that person pulling people into the building? I don't know about you, but if I go to a Trump rally and I am sitting there looking in the door and someone starts reaching and grabbing me and pulling me in, I would have a problem with that. Just like those video clips of those people who had body cam on saying, push him up. That's right. Go in. Let's do it. This is crazy right here. Let's see it again. Free Palestine. Not that part. Even though I do like the sound of this. Just because they're harassing Joe. Now look at that. Pulling them in. Snatching them. Who is that person? Who is that person pulling people in the door? And why would you be doing that? What is your motive to pull people inside of the Capitol if you're simply a protester? How about you go in and protest and do whatever you want to do in the Capitol? But the only reason I could think of you trying to pull people in is to make sure a lot of people come into that building so that y'all could put the narrative out that the Capitol was invaded. But it doesn't just stop with that guy pulling people in. Look at this. Snatching them in, y'all. Snatching them. Look at this. Stop. No. You pushing us in. You're pushing us in. Not only is he pushing them in, but look at this. Hello, darkness, my old friend. What is that in that man's ear? Why is this man rocking an earpiece with the cord hanging? That ain't no normal. Just, oh, this is my earbuds. I don't see nobody with earbuds with cords hanging down anymore, except for people who work in the federal government, or you connect it with somebody in your ear saying, all right, how are we going over there? So that guy right there is pushing people into the Capitol while the person is saying, stop, you're pushing us in. Why would you be doing that? Unless you want more people in that Capitol building, why would the cops be going like this? Come on in. Why would you be making it easy? Why would y'all all be going to push them up and you're all rocking earpieces? What is that? Look at that big fat earpiece, y'all. And then look at this guy. He got a little walkie-talkie on. His face is covered. He's dressed like a full-blown FBI Fed. And he's pulling the window open, and watch what a real Trump supporter says. That's right. He wanted to look like all the windows are broken out. Look at the damage that's being done. People are busting in, going in, and acting a fool. Look at this. Big old walkie-talkie right there on the shoulder. Protest Gavin crowd jumps between suspicious actor 1 and the window. Okay, now watch this. Okay. Look at that big fat earpiece. Look at that big fat earpiece on this so-called Trump supporter. What's going on here? I want to know why Raggedy Ray hasn't tracked this man down with an earpiece. How many people have access to earpieces like this in the public? Do you think Trump supporters walked in with earpieces and they're all communicating with each other? Okay, Trump told us to go ahead and surge the Capitol right now. That's what we're going to do. He's on the earpiece right now. Yes, Trump. Where do we go from here? Oh, okay. So we're going to hang Mike Pence and kill Nancy Pelosi. Okay, we're on it. We're on it. These are feds. If they're not feds, they're part of some other agency. And yet no explanation of why this man is pulling the window pieces down. And then watch how he reacts when he gets busted. Look at that big fat earpiece. The guy pushed him away like, don't go in there. Look. Oh, he's blaming him. You broke it. Suspicious actor 1 threatens crowd and blames the broken window on him. Wow. So he gets busted after breaking the window. And then gonna get mad. Pushing the guy. The guy's like, okay, all right, back off. I don't want any trouble. After we just videotaped you breaking the window, pulling the things apart, and said, don't go in there. And your response is, back up off me. You the one broke the windows. If they broke the windows, why aren't they going in? That's my question. So the guy with the earpiece gets busted, ripping the windows down, breaking the windows. The real Trump supporters say, don't go in there, just like all those real Trump supporters were saying, why aren't you doing something about these people breaking into the Capitol? As the police sat there with their arms folded on that one video clip. Why was the real Trump supporters sitting back saying, don't go in? That's Antifa. Antifa is going in there. So you had a whole bunch of folks in that audience, whether it was Antifa, whether it was Black Lives Matter, whether it was feds, whether it was sources that the feds use or other agencies. But I guarantee you, these were not Trump supporters. They weren't Trump supporters. We don't rock earpieces with cords hanging down, pushing people in. Despite the vandalism, the man in the black hasn't been placed on the FBI wanted list. Go figure. With his big fat microphone, his walkie-talkie and all of that stuff. So now, you see what we're dealing with? We have a government that we cannot trust. A government that will entrap its own people for political power, to create narratives that aren't true, to demonize their own citizens, and to cause suspicion and fear of protesting against the narrative, protesting against the power of the leadership in the country, or should I say the dictatorship in the country. Let's go ahead and create a atmosphere of suspicion. Every time y'all think about, well, man, I don't like what's going on around the country, I think we should go and say something or speak up. And then you got to worry about this crap. Our own folks sitting in there with earpieces, pushing people in the building, and then saying this is the greatest attack on the homeland. Thank goodness for the release of all of that video footage to show us what really went on once they pushed a lot of those people into the Capitol. They pushed them in, and those folks fell right in line, was walking, nice between the velvet ropes. They were picking up things that had fell, stacking it back on their way to insurrect. There it is, They're the most polite insurrectionists ever. Now, wait, everybody, stop. We don't want this lamp fell. Let's pick that up before we insurrect. Okay, let's make sure everything's tidied up. This right here needs to be explained. And this is why they didn't want that video footage released. This is unbelievable, and it destroys their narrative that this was all Trump supporters and they were out of control, and it was organic. It was all organic. It was all organic. No, it was planned. The violent part and the part where they entered the Capitol, that stuff was encouraged and planned by some other people. And a lot of innocent folks got caught up in this entrapment. And that right there is a problem. So yes, Trump, when you go ahead and take back the presidency, pardon them all. Pardon them all. At this point, every single one of them need to be pardoned. Unless it's big fat Ray Epps, head of the Capitol. The folks that were participating in pushing and encouraging people, folks that were caught on video talking about, I'm not a Trump supporter with the hat, that one guy, I forget his name, Sullivan, that dude. Yeah, folks like that who obviously hates Trump and obviously encourages, those are the ones that need to be punished. But yet we got a dude doing 22 years for nothing. Wasn't even there. But you know who else needs to be punished? Raggedy Ray and Garlic and all the people who sigged the FBI and all of them on these people. They need to be punished because they are ruining people's lives. So Roger Stone, you are right, buddy. That's what the government is up to right now. And we don't like it, and they don't like it. We don't like it. But so what? So that's what I'm here to do, man. I'm going to keep on dropping all kind of knowledge, facts, and truth until they get sick of me. I got to now wonder about people knocking on my boom, boom, boom. Who is it? I'm going to be like Malcolm X, man, standing there with the gun looking out the window like, okay, all right, what's going on out there? Oh, it's the mailman. My fault. Are you really the mailman? All right, there's just a sting operation. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Boy, we keep discovering all kind of stuff, don't we? But it's sad to see just how deep the rabbit hole goes and how corrupt. I mean, you never imagine that America's government would be this corrupt and get busted constantly, but still somehow continues to skirt by with no accountability. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene and others want to get to the bottom of stuff, Clay Higgins, but yet we got our rhinos just, maybe they don't see this footage. This is a shame. We need to send all of this stuff to Congress and say, hey, Ray, who is this guy right here? Who's this guy pushing the people in? Somebody explain this stuff to us. They need to subpoena, people like Adam Schindler and all the Democrats and the funky rhinos who sat on that J6 committee and say, y'all said y'all went through all of the video footage as y'all did a media tour and talked about this the greatest threat to the homeland. Look at all this footage of the white nationalists breaking it. Did you see this footage? Why didn't y'all? So this is why y'all didn't want it on display. Show them this stuff and then make them comment on it. Don't talk about it. Show them this stuff. I can't be the only one that got hold to this footage. It's accessible to everybody. So why in the world aren't these folks being accountable for this footage? I want to see them try to explain who is this person with the earpiece. They need to explain that, dang on it. And until they do, I'm going to keep hammering it in. So now, thanks for everybody watching. Look at that. We got 532 likes. Even so now, we got 428 people watching and probably got 4,028 people watching, but they're hidden because they don't want messages like this to get out. They don't want me to be a populist. They want to make it seem like nobody watches Kevin from Kevin's Corner, but I know y'all do. So thanks for supporting. If you want to support the channel, please do so. The link is below to contribute to my monthly fundraiser, and also like the videos, share my videos, check out the other videos on the channel that you may have not watched so that we can keep those algorithms going. All of that stuff helps because they're not helping me at all when it comes down to getting my channel out there. Don't forget to check out the store. Text 330-974-4607. Text MAGA to that number. And I will tonight. I think I'm feeling good. I'm feeling kind of good. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do all the accepting of people who've been in the queue. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put y'all, send y'all the response. Like, what's happening? It's me. And I'm gonna work on a video tonight that I'm gonna release as a standalone. So set your notifications to all so you'll get it. Okay. All right. God bless America. God bless y'all, and we'll see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner as we bounce, man. Yeah, give him a blackout at night. I like it. Try to do it every single night. Our coast up, got it round your throats. I know you see the goons, I know you see the apes, I know you see the way to tear up the place, yeah. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.